Guys, I came across this MTM Survivor dry box. This is perfect for camping, hiking, fishing, but it also has applications for survival. It's a very sturdy box. These are made in the USA. I do a lot with MTM as far as my range, ammo caddies. They have all kind of ammo crates, but I really like the construction that they put into these and the quality. I bought this, I believe, at Cabela's. And then I ended up buying a couple of other colors, one from PSA, one just on eBay. And they're pretty reasonably priced. They do have a watertight seal. And we're just going to take a look at some of the reasons why this really can come in handy to keep your items protected, but also to keep things in just one location. You know, when it comes to outdoors, you want to protect certain gear. And when it's in a pack, sometimes it gets messed up, gets meshed up, gets pushed down to the bottom. And especially gear that you really need. You need to protect, or things that are vital, things that are important. And so to me, these are really kind of a cool idea to be able to put things that, you know, could get damaged or things that you need to get to immediately. Now we have two different sizes here, and we have two different colors. We have the larger size box, and the outside and the width are the same as the smaller box. It's just the depth. So this is 9.8 inches in length, it's 6.8 in width, and then it's 4.8 in height. The interior, it's even listed on the website, so if you're interested and you have to be specific, you can go on there and look. It's just about a ½ inch less in the inner dimensions. And then the same here, 9x8, 6x8, and then it's 3 inches in height. And so it just has those two different sizes. This is a little more compact. This would be easier to slip into a pack, but you can put this down at the bottom. But it does take up a lot of room. I mean, here you can see the difference. It's considerable. Now, this one I bought on eBay, and it already had this paracord attached. And so I just left it because I thought it was kind of a neat idea. This has holes in certain areas. Now, this is actually for little small padlocks. So you can lock this down if you want to. If you have something valuable in here and you just want to keep it secure, you know, you can get into it, but it makes it more difficult. But here they just have some paracord tied into the holes. But they also have slots right here for webbing. So I can actually cinch this down on something, and it helps it to be secure. And you can see they do have a small little compass. This compass in particular works really well. But some of the others, this one is a little bit off, just a touch. And it's the way it's floating, but it still points generally north. So, you know, that is one thing you want to just watch. You want to calibrate this before you depend on it. Also here on the bottom, it has a mirror, and this is for a reflector, and you can use this to be able to, you know, attract planes, attract certain search and rescue elements if you're lost. It just gives you another element, and it's really cheap. It just sits right on the back of the box. Now I left the sticker on this one just to identify it, but just to let you know, when you pull this off, it doesn't leave a lot of residue on the box. You know, some things you have to actually take some kind of mineral spirits or something to get it off. Now this has little grooves all the way through it. This is just going to keep all the water from settling on top. There are 3 latches, and they are secure, and it's on both of them. And then it secures down. The box is pretty simple inside. It's just made for storage, so you don't really want anything in there. Also, it does have a rubber gasket that goes around, and it's tongue and grooved, so the lid actually closes over the bottom. Now, they claim that this is not necessarily waterproof, but it will be water resistant, and it will float. And so those are some really key elements. You know, if you submerge this for a while, you may get a little water in it. But otherwise, you know, you should be good to go as far as keeping things dry. And it is called a dry box. Now, it is sturdy. We're going to test that out in just a few minutes. It has a hinge here at the back, which is typical. MTM Case-Gard has been around for years, and I started buying their reloading boxes. So I've been buying MTM Case-Gard for a long time. It's made right in Dayton, Ohio, so it's really cool to support American companies when you can. But the box itself, it is very sturdy. The plastic is a nice heavy plastic. It's an injected molded plastic. And so you can just see, I mean, it gives you a lot of room. And then you have the smaller size, which is the same amount of room. It's just a lot shallower. So you just have a little bit of area. I'm telling you guys, I bought this on eBay, and it still got a little debris in it. This was a used one. They typically run around the $20 range, but some I've seen these for about $11.99. I think I bought the orange one from Cabela's, the bigger orange one, and it was about $19. And then I bought this one on Amazon. I think it was around 15, 16 bucks. So, you know, there's just different prices, and you need to just get on there and find your best price. But they latch down pretty solid, and they're secure, they're dry. So let's do a little bit of testing with it. Now with the dry box, I actually used this in a recent video, the iron rations. And so I put things that you would just have at the end of a terrible situation. You kind of forget about it, and these are some things that you could have. And I'll have the video annotated above. But I'm going to open it up. I mean, you can really pack quite a bit of stuff in here. And these are just things that, you know, man, at the time gets just terrible and things are horrible and no hope seems in sight. You pull out your iron rations and you have a lot of cool things just to kind of pick up morale. And man, it fits a lot in this little box. Guys, these boxes are pretty sturdy. And I can stand on it without any problem. And you know, you probably wouldn't want to put a lot of weight on it, but in a pinch, I mean, that's how strong these boxes are. And guys, one great thing about it is it floats. Now again, it's not waterproof, but it's going to keep a lot of the moisture out. And we're going to go ahead and submerge it, hold it down for a few seconds. Kind of brush off a lot of the water. I have a paper towel in here just to see. Hopefully when we're opening it, it won't get it too wet. We did get some water right in here, but that was submerged. But actually around here we didn't. But this just gives you an idea, guys. Again, this isn't waterproof, but it will help. Now you do have these holes here where you can put a lock, and that way you can secure it, especially if you have valuables in here. But on the front side, it's a little bit smaller, so you're gonna have to have a smaller lock. But this fits a pretty decent size lock. And you know, even with the smaller one, we have same. I've really packed this one out. We have some gloves, keep your gloves dry, a little fire kit, and you know, just all the essentials. I really like fire kits. And I have some tinder in here, and of course different methods. Redundancy is important. Also, even a fixed blade knife. I mean, and this is actually a pretty large sheath, so you could put a smaller fixed blade knife in here without any trouble. Water filter, extra batteries with flashlight, safety pins, Swiss Army knife, Sharpie, and also some duct tape. But again, there's a lot that you can put into these kits, and even this size. I mean, you can really make a great survival kit out of this, or for that matter, just EDC stuff. Now here with the larger box, this allows you to put electronics in here, and that's one of the things I think is a big plus for this. Here we have an emergency radio. I have extra batteries, power bank with cables, and I threw in a lighter. But this space in the top actually gives you a lot more room to really pack it over the rim of the bottom section. And so you can really put a lot of things in here. And then, of course, just close it up. The rubber seal is going to be good. This is, again, not waterproof, but it's water resistant. And with that lip coming over and the silicone seal or the rubber seal, it's just going to help this to keep the water out. One thing, too, is you can take a radio, especially if you have one that you can unscrew the antenna, put it down in there. This will help protect it. You could actually put a couple of those in there. And this has the cover as well. And also just your cell phone, you know, you can drop it in there. It will keep it somewhat protected, especially if you're around water or it's raining. And so that way you can keep this protected, and it's really easy. The seal is great. Again, these are not waterproof, but it will help protect from the elements. Now, I really like this smaller size for one thing, and you can actually put a firearm in here. Extra magazines will fit. You could put some cloth or something underneath if you didn't have a holster, but this is going to not really mar up your firearm anyway. This does fit more of the micro size. I tried the Glock 19. It just won't quite fit, the sights mainly. So anything smaller than a Glock 19 should fit in this little case. And you can close it up, and again, you can lock it down. Now this could also be used as a medical kit, and I would identify this some way, you know, put some kind of sticker on here to let me know this is for medical. But here I have a complete trauma kit, including tourniquet, compression gauze, chest seals, even space blanket, trauma shears, and also different pads, and also I just have some band-aids. And you still have quite a bit of room, and this was packed in a little fat pack. So this is going to give you some security to keep this dry, keep it out of the elements, and everything's just right there. And honestly, taking the pouch and pulling each piece out, even though it's somewhat organized, everything is just right here in front of you. I really like that. But again, we can pack quite a bit more in here. And it's secure from the elements. Now with these little slots on the side, we can take and put webbing right through it. And then here, you've got it on both sides. So now I have a shoulder strap. I can put it on. You want to put the shorter side to your hip, but may not be ideal, but it's easy to carry, especially if you have things in your hands, and you can get right to it. These are also stackable. They do fit. They can slide around a little bit, but it will give you some stability setting this together. And you can actually run the strapping through both. Since they do stack, it gives it some stability, and then you can actually put this in a vehicle, in a boat. You could strap this down to an ATV. Now it's only this one strap side, but it does hold pretty good because these do lock into place. So guys, the Survivor Dry Box, so many uses for these, just to protect your gear, whether it's from the elements or just from getting beat around. They're very sturdy, number of secure points. The compass, you know, is mediocre, but some of them actually show up pretty well. In fact, at this point right now, all of them are showing north. And also with the reflector mirror, this will get someone's attention, and especially in the air if you get it on the sun. So, you know, those are just added features. Stackable, you can stand on them if you have to. Not necessarily recommended, but it will in a pinch. They do float. There's so many different things, and again, there's so many different uses. It's just one of those items that you can adapt to whatever you're doing. So the Survivor Dry Box, a great option to be able to protect things. It's sturdy, it's watertight, and so it's going to protect what's in there. And two, you can label these and put them anywhere and know what you have in there. And so that's one of the things about getting organized and yet having something that's really usable. And I'm a big fan of MTM Case-Gard. I use a lot of their products, and they're all made right here in the USA. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. But also protect them from getting beaten. Then there's space in the top where it makes it easy to put a lot of things in there, more than this. Okay. More than this.